up, everybody? Welcome back to SOR's Cryptid Tales. My name is Amber Beckrud, and today's episode is brought to you slightly in part thanks to my father. Now, this cryptid tale for today is something that my dad used to tell me as a child, and he used to tell it to me a lot. And quite honestly, for a really long time, I was super invested in this tale. Now, today's cryptid that we are going to be talking about has been around for a very long time. The first mention of this cryptid was actually when European settlers from Scotland actually came over and immigrated into Canada during the 17th century. One of the settlers actually wrote a story about this cryptid, explaining that there was an abundance of furry animals and fish. Now, of course, I know what you're thinking. Of course there's furry animals. There's bears, there's wolves, there's what have you. Moose, caribou, fox, the list goes on and on and on. Canada is full of wonderful creatures that we all love and adore. But one thing that they actually mentioned in these stories was that there was a mention of a fish that wasn't particularly normal, I guess, is how you would say it. Now, these settlers wrote about the possibility of there being a furry fish. Yes, it was known as many different things like the beaver trout, the fur-bearing trout, and my dad used to call it a woolly trout. So there was this story of these fur-bearing fish that then traveled throughout time, and for a really long time, me being the gullible child that I was, I actually believed him. Can you believe that? I actually believed my father telling me that there were furry fish. Now, of course, for me, my dad was a taxidermist and he loved to play jokes. He still loves to play jokes. And it was something that he knew how gullible I was and how gullible my sister was, so he used to play things like that with us all the time. Now, these fur-bearing trout were then apparently mounted and sent home to Scotland as specimens to prove their existence. But what actually happened was that these fish were not real. They're actually not a cryptid at all. And by that, I do mean that it actually was stated that there is the possibility of them being infected with a certain bacteria that gives them their appearance that they have tufts of fur coming off of them and that they are covered in fur. That also translated into taxidermists taking the liberty of taking this fictional tale and actually transforming it into something real. So taxidermists throughout the years have actually taken the fur of different animals and mounted them onto the bodies of fish and given people the fur-bearing trout. So of course, this thing just kept morphing and morphing and morphing. They have disproven furry fish never actually existed, at least that we know of. Feathered fish did not exist, at least that we know of. And until somebody actually proves that they really did exist, there's nothing to say that they did. So I thought for a really long time that these furry fish were a real thing. Not at all. And I thought that it would be a fun story to share with you guys. I want to hear from you. So that being said, I want you to tell me the stories that your parents or your grandparents or any family member close to you used to tell you as a child about cryptids or about weird and wonderful things that you actually solidly and wholeheartedly believed until you found out that they weren't real. I was probably about 8 or 10 years old when I figured out that these fish were not actually a real thing, and I'm gonna be honest, I was not crushed. I thought it was really weird. A fur-bearing fish is really weird to me. So yeah, let me know down below in the comments the stories that you have to share about things that people have told you that you wanted to believe, wholeheartedly believed, but then found out were not actually a real cryptid. Now, of course, I will probably play this joke on my nieces and nephews. It's just a fun story, and kids will believe whatever they want to believe until they're proven different. On that topic, we have a few more things to share with you guys now. Spaced Out Radio has gone through a lot of changes in the last little while. This coming up weekend is actually our 5-year anniversary. Yay! And we have gone through a massive transformation, and I'm so proud of where Spaced Out Radio is and where it's going in the future. So if you want to keep up with us, please do not forget to check out all of Spaced Out Radio's social medias, my social media, because I'll be posting about their efforts and everything as well. Do not forget that we now have the SOR Vault, so you can get merchandise like this t-shirt right here, and you can get it on anything. There are coffee mugs, bandanas, coasters, stickers, you name it, it's there. So that store is now open, and you can go ahead and go and buy all the merch that you want. Support us, support Spaced Out Radio. You can also join the Space Travelers Club for $5 a month, and it's a pretty cool place. You get to interact with me and Dave and all of the other hosts, and it's just a place to go and hang out. Tell us your stories, express to us what's going on. There's also a live chat that happens every single night of the show that you can join in on, and we'd love to see you there. Again, it's only $5 a month. It's the price of one coffee at Starbucks, and yeah, if you're there, I'm there, and we can talk and collaborate, and of course, let me know your stories. There's a whole section there for cryptid tales, so hit me up. I want to know. Also, a huge shout out to Ron BUMBLEFOOT for all of our music here. It's amazing. I love it. I know you guys love it, and it has made SOR so much better throughout the years. Other than that, I put out a call on Twitter. Please, if you guys have any cryptid tales that you want to tell me about sightings that you've seen and you want me to tell them on this show, please let me know. You can tweet me, you can send me a DM on Instagram, send me a message on Facebook, let me know what your story is, if you're willing to let me tell it. And yeah, I want to hear your cryptid tales. Of course, if you're part of the Space Travelers Club as well, leave it down in the cryptid tales section, because I'll be checking it regularly and answering any questions that you guys might have, because I love answering those for people as well. I think that is it for me. Of course, do not forget to check out all of those things. I know it's a lot of information, but Cryptid Tales and SOR are going to be here for a very, very long time. I cannot wait to see you guys in the next